Welcome to the Building the Perfect Mind podcast, where we reveal the secrets to unlocking your full potential. Join me on a journey to discover the strategies, techniques, and mindset shifts that will transform your thinking, boost your productivity, and help you achieve your goals. From improving focus and concentration to building resilience and mental toughness, we'll explore it all. Get ready to upgrade your mind and unleash your inner greatness. On today's podcast, we are going to talk about the techniques of improving the processing speed of the mind. The techniques of improving I believe is a very crucial thing that we have to understand in the journey to build the perfect mind. Imagine being able to learn any new skill or subject in a fraction of the time it takes others. I remember asking a friend of mine, how can one improve the processing speed of the mind? How can one improve the processing speed of the mind? And he told me simply. It's a very, very simple answer. Yeah, very simple actually. And he said, you have to diligently pay attention to the most important things. That's one. And to continuously seek knowledge. And test myself. One of the things I believe that the school system did, the educational system, let me put that way, the educational system did was to enable one and to encourage us to improve our mind. On today's podcast, I'll quickly render just a few strategies that would help us do that. And the first one is simple, actually, is practicing mental exercises. Many people are like, yes, obviously, I know that. Yeah, it's true. It's actually very simple. Someone will be like, back in university, a friend of mine was doing something which was strange to me, but it actually really helped him. He would look at something, and he would look away immediately. And he would tell me, hey, Hagen, ask me what I noticed from right behind me. And he'll tell me that I should look at it so I'll know he'll be like he's correct and all that. And he'll be telling me, narrating everything that he saw, everything that he observed, everything. And that was just one glance. So that was his own exercise, I believe. That was his own way of, developing his processing speed. So this number one, as I said, is practicing mental exercises. We are to challenge ourselves with new skills. It's very important in the quest to, improve our processing speed and to engage in brain teasers. Many people don't like brain teasers because they're like, oh, it gives me a headache, it gives me stress, and all that. No, that helps. It makes your mind work faster. And lastly, in the exercises that one could try is puzzling. Try puzzles, crosswords, logic problem, even Sudoku. Yeah. So these help. Yeah, this help in the quest to build or to improve that processing speed. Number 2 of the techniques is to develop a growth mindset. Technique or strategies, to develop a growth mindset. I released a podcast on growth mindset, and please, I would love that many listen to it. The growth mindset is crucial in the quest to have that mind improved upon and to have that mind, to gain that processing speed. Developing a growth mindset sounds simple, but it's not easy. So in developing a growth mindset, number 1, we have to believe that our brain is capable of growth and development. Number 2 is that we have to understand that we have to embrace challenges as opportunities for improvement. Every challenge is an opportunity for improvement. And lastly is to celebrate small victories and acknowledge progress. When we don't acknowledge progress, we get easily stressed, confused, and we might give up. We might just give up and be like, I'm not making progress. I'm not doing anything. We have to develop a growth mindset, which will help us improve that processing speed of our mind. Number 3 of the strategies is to focus, is to have focus and concentration. If we train ourselves to develop that deep focus and concentration on something, on a task, on anything at all, it helps improve that processing speed. In improving that focus or developing that focus and concentration, we have a few, practices to that. Number 1, we have to practice mindfulness meditation to improve attention. A friend of mine in Kenya, she told me about this mindfulness and the beauty of it. And it's actually really, really remarkable, because if you actually practice this meditation, this mindfulness actually, just for instance now, sit down and look at one particular thing and focus on that particular thing. It could be maybe just drop maybe a small monument or so, and focus on that particular thing. Focus, your complete focus will be on that particular thing. It does something. It does something. It makes you have this clarity of having that every other thing around you is like as if you stop time. Yeah. If you actually practice this meditation, practice it as often as you can, you see that you are in control of a lot of things. It gives you a deeper perception of not just your environment, but also of how your brain and your mind works and how you interpret everything. In focusing and concentrating, we are to also set specific goals and prioritize tasks. Setting goals is important. I reiterate this a lot, but it's important to set goals. It could be for the smallest thing you set. You could come and be like, today I am going to eat 3 times and I'm going to eat healthy foods. That's one small goal. Yeah. So after that, you now be as deliberate and, conscious of that. Number 1, you have to ask yourself, okay, if I'm going to eat healthy foods, what are the healthy foods I'll eat? What are the meals that I will find myself, munching on? And that already helps you. And if you focus on that, you'll definitely achieve just that small goals. And you prioritize it. Someone might come around and be like, oh, bro, I have this for you. Bro, there's this. Bro, you go chop this. You have to actually sit back and say, oh, okay, I have to sit up. I made a goal, I made a pact today that I'm going to eat healthy food. So, no. It's a discipline, yeah. Prioritizing tasks help you, discipline you, actually. Number 4 in the strategies is to get enough sleep. Get enough sleep. Again, I'm speaking to myself about this. Number 1 is that we are to establish a consistent sleep schedule. Number 2 is to create a relaxing bedtime routine. And number 3 is to avoid screens and stimulating activities before bedtime. Joshua was on a podcast with us long ago, and he told me this. He told me, hey, Gabe, before I go to bed, I usually drop my phone an hour before I actually go to bed, because it helps me help my mind readjust to a lot of things and helps me think clearly before I get to bed. That is very, very wrong to have your phone on your eyes 3 minutes before you zone out. Is unhealthy. It messes with the way the brain functions and the way the brain interprets a lot of things. So it's good to leave your phone aside an hour or so before you sleep. It's very important. Number 5 on the strategies is to exercise and develop physical activity routines. Have physical activity routines. So this is speaking to me again. So number 1, we have to engage in aerobic exercises like running or swimming. Number 2 is we have to incorporate strength training and flexibility exercises. And lastly is to aim for at least 30 minutes of physical activity daily. Back then when I was in the university, I had to hit the gym most of the time, and then Basically, I give myself 1 full hour for working out. 30 minutes aerobics, 30 minutes lifting of weights, and it really helped me get myself in shape. And I think I'll go back to it. I actually have to get back to it. Yeah. Number 6 on the strategies is to prioritize mindfulness and meditation. These are all to help us improve our processing speed. So when we prioritize meditation and mindfulness, it enables us to have that processing speed improved. Number 1, we have to start with, short meditation sessions, and gradually increase time. You can have like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, short sessions, very short ones. Maybe you just have to go to YouTube and get maybe some mantras that will help you with that. Number 2 is to practice mindfulness in daily activities like eating and walking. This speaks to me because mindfulness is also one way to, like I said, improve the processing speed and also get to feel everything around you. Most of the time it's wrong to eat as to watch movie while you eat. Is wrong. It doesn't really help with that mindfulness. Mindfulness is enjoying the moment. Some people don't know how their food tastes. Like I asked a friend of mine one time, hey, how does this taste? What taste is this? What's this? Can you taste the salt? Can you taste the onions? Can you taste this? Can you taste that? Mindfulness does that. So I'm speaking again to the importance of this mindfulness and meditation, which helps with that processing speed. And we are to use guided meditation apps. Like I said, go to YouTube, or you can also go to using the apps, for instance, like Headspace or Calm. This helps with that. Number 7 on the strategies is to learn new skills. Learning new skills help us improve the processing speed. Learning new skills help to improve that processing speed. And in learning new skills, we have to take online courses or attend workshops. Number 2, learn new language or instrument. Number 3 is to explore new hobbies or interests. Yeah, my friend, he stays in the United States, so he told me, bro, you need to have hobbies. It's wrong to have your life all centered around work. And in as much as he works a lot and all that, he told me that he has hobbies. For instance, he's learning how to play the guitar. And it's actually really, really, really dope to me because it's a hobby that will help. It's a hobby that will definitely help. Number 8 on the strategies is to reduce stress. Say no to stress. Many people think that they cannot control stress, but yes, they can control stress. My dad always tells me that the way to control stress is to control the controllables. What are the things that you can control that will help you control the stress? If someone upsets you, you are in charge. I released a podcast on dying to self, and that speaks to this too. Because when you die to self, you are the one that's actually in charge of your responses. You're in charge of how you feel, in charge of everything. And you don't know that as you're in charge, you don't need to respond to a lot of things. Most of the time, stress comes from trying to respond to everything and trying to react to everything. And it kills everything about it. It kills it completely. So in ways to reduce stress, we have to practice deep breathing exercises or yoga. Yeah, yoga can definitely help. And we have to engage in journaling or writing. Journaling is what I've spoken about very, 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 very well on this podcast. Journaling helps basically you writing out what you feel, writing out how you think about things, writing out a lot of things. And in all those writing and documentations and all, it helps you relieve stress. And in releasing stress, you also understanding yourself better. Like for instance, in your journal or my journal, what I usually write every day is how I started today, what I accomplished that day, what I hope to accomplish the next day, what I didn't accomplish that day, so that I would improve upon myself, and what challenges I faced that day. So all these are things that you actually think about. Don't worry, next podcast most likely will be on journaling. Another thing about reducing stress is that we have to take breaks and prioritize self-care. God, this is definitely for me. We have to prioritize self-care. Take yourself out. love yourself. I released a podcast on loving yourself, and yes, love yourself. Love yourself. You are as important as everyone you take care of, or as everyone you give a certain level of importance. You are important. Don't forget that. You are valuable. Number 9 on the on the ways to improve our processing speed of the mind, actually, is nutrition and diets. Nutrition and diets. That speaks to a lot, actually. So in nutrition and dieting now, we have to know that we have to include foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which is like walnuts, salmon, and basically all those nutty stuff, but not really like you can be eating all the things that have nuts in it. No, we have to focus on the ones that have the omega-3. I maybe on the next podcast I'll have someone who is in the field of dietetics that will discuss on that. Number 2 on this, the nutrition and dietetics, is to eat antioxidant-rich foods, berries, leafy greens, basically eating healthy, like I said. Yeah, these help a lot. And we have to stay hydrated and limit processed foods. Limit canned foods, most especially. Processed foods will kill you, as I always say. Indomie, pasta. Yeah, I'm saying it. I'm also speaking to myself. These processed foods kill you. In improving the processing speed of our mind, we had to understand fully well that we had to also improve our healthy body, improve our health rather. Improve our health. When the health is improved, it's easier, it's better, it's faster, it's more, it's simpler actually to process things with the mind. If you have an unhealthy body, for instance, if you are diabetic or obese, a lot of things are going through your mind. A lot of things that are going through your mind that will cloud and slow down your processing speed. Let's take, for instance, a laptop. If a laptop has battery problems, or a laptop is packed with a lot of load and space and is packed full of a lot of documents and all that, it affects the processing speed, whether we like it or not. It affects the processing speed. So when we are overweight, for instance, when we have a lot in our mind too, our mental health also is important. We need to declutter all these. Because it helps. When we declutter them, it helps with our processing speed. And then lastly, on the strategies, is we have to stay mentally active. Mentally active. And what does it mean? We have to read books or articles on various topics. We have to engage in problem-solving activities like puzzles or brain teasers. I've mentioned it earlier, but yeah, staying mentally active is vital in the quest to improve the processing speed. And lastly, we have to pursue creative interests like art or writing. Yeah, pursuing this is actually very therapeutic, if you ask me. Very therapeutic. So, if we had to review all this on the podcast, we have to know that it's a deliberate effort we have to put into processing, to improving the processing speed of the mind. And remember, small changes can add up over time. So we have to start with 1 or 2 strategies and gradually incorporate more as we progress. So always endeavor to know that you mustn't do all of them. There are 10 in number I listed here. Start with at least staying mentally active. That's one way. Start with staying mentally active. Read books over scrolling. Drop your phones, drop social media, and read books. This will definitely help you to improve that processing speed of the mind, which will help you feel much better, feel much lighter, feel much more innovative, which will also increase and improve the creativity that we have and will help us live better lives. A friend of mine always says a quote from, I don't know if we recall the name, but she always says, you can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. So creativity comes from a very high level of processing speed of the mind. You understand? So improve your processing speed, improve your level of creativity, and it will help us build the perfect mind. Thank you once again for listening in on today's podcast. I still remain your host, Hagen Ojukwu. On to the next podcast.